Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. You asked, and it's time to deliver. My 7th iteration of my Fire Necro is already ready for 083 Last Epoch. As always, everything is timestamped in the description below if you need to bounce around. We will take a look at gameplay, skills, passives, gear, character sheet, and today we're also going to go to the training dummy. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Let's start off with some gameplay. Now, the skills I'm going to be using are Summon Wraith, Summon Volatile Zombie, Summon Skeletal Mage, Summon Bone Golem, and Rip Blood. Yes, the build has changed a little bit. Updated passives, updated skill trees a little bit. Lots of testing went into this. So like normal, we will make Wraiths. The Wraiths, you can only make 8 now. And then we will summon zombies, since we can only make 8 Wraiths. And we will Rip Blood for mana and ward. Golem will still use 60% threat to keep you alive. Like normal, you will just ruse. Now this is a level 100 timeline, empowered. And as you can see, damage-wise, still no problem. Now the only thing that sucks about this build, and I will openly admit it, is that you don't have training. So for movement skill, you do not have that. You're probably saying, man, your character is slow. That's because I don't have movement on my boots as an athlete. You can be much faster if you wanted to. Notice my life, for the most part, doesn't move very often because of the zombies giving me lots of ward. Now, I will show this off later when we are at the training dummy. Wraiths now outperform skeleton mages. This is a big difference. All right, get up here. Nice long run. Normally I do 2 runs, but I think we're only going to need 1. For this build, I tried desperately to make Semble the Abomination work, and it just doesn't. Bone Golem is still much better, in my opinion. We can just stand still. That's all she wrote. Done. Let me show you how to recreate this build. So let me show you these skills I'm using, starting with Summon Wraith. Go ahead and take a screenshot. I'll give you 1 second if you need to. All right, moving on. 2 into Grave Reality, 4 into Lay the End, 1 into Spirit Link, 3 into Dawn of the Fall, 3 into Dusk of the Living, 2 into Wraithbringer, 2 into Flame Wraith, 1 into Fallen Reclamation, and 2 into Covenant of Souls. Now, obviously, what is different about this skill is you used to be able to make unlimited of them, and you can no longer do that. So over here, if you want it to be a permanent skill, you have to take Twin Spirits, but in testing this, it's not good unless you are going to run melee, which we are not going to do. So you want to come over here and take Covenant of Souls, which is going to give you +2, which means you can have 8 total. And it's plenty from a damage output. You're going to have 8 Wraiths. Under Summon Skeletal Mage, literally nothing changes. 5 into Grave Tide, 4 into Splintered Dominion, 5 into Cellar Mortis, 1 into Order of Death, 3 into Grey Merchant, 1 into Pyromancers, and 1 into Inferno. These do not change. And I know it's crazy. They're great. You shoot 3 shots. The Wraiths are now stronger. Bone Golem. I said that this build is going to take on Assemble the Abomination. It's not as good. Trust me, I thoroughly tested it for hours on stream. You can go check it out on my Twitch if you'd like. Link is in the description below. You want 5 into AOS, 4 into Tower of Bones, 5 into Hunger, 1 into Blood Golem, and 5 into AOP. This is your tank. Now, they did nerf this skill, okay? And that's why I tried to use Assemble the Abomination. You used to be able to get 100% threat. Now you can only get 60. It's still great. Is it as great? No, but it's still great. Rip Blood, the pillar of consistency. Oh, by the way, I'll give you a second to take a screenshot. Sorry. Give you a second to take a screenshot. And on to Rip Blood. Go ahead and take a screenshot. Now, this skill hasn't changed, I think, since I've started using it. They don't change it, they don't nerf it, they don't buff it, and it works perfectly as it is. You want 2 into Arcane Absorption, 1 into Rip Spirit, 1 into Arcane Fortress. This allows you to build ward instead of health. 5 into Necromancer, 1 into Thirst, 5 into Quenching, 3 into Mana Feast, 1 into Marrow Drinker, and 1 into Hematology. Now, Mana Feast is going to allow you to rebuild your mana so that you can continuously summon your minions, and Marrow Drinker is going to allow you to rip from your minions. They're always going to be around you. So it's really easy. It's a great skill. I know a lot of people, some people like using Drain Life. I've tried it. I still like Rip Blood better. Personal choice though, you could switch this out for Drain Life. Okay. Last but not least, summon Volatile Zombie. And I did a lot of testing with this as well. We didn't go barfing because I've used that in the past, but I went flammable, I went big ones, leaping, I ended here, okay? Take a screenshot. Moving on. 5 into Forceful Commander, 1 into Daunting Blast, 2 into Ravenous, 2 into Pull of the Grave. Now, what's great about Summon Volatile Zombie is you get a kill threshold now with your zombies. So if you're ever fighting a boss, all you got to do is take out 84% of its life. The zombies will kill the last 16. Coming down, Path of Destruction, 1 into Path of Destruction, 2 into Necromantic Fever, 1 into Vital Ward, and 3 into Awakening Presence. Now, down here, Vital Ward, this is where the zombies' maximum health comes back to you as ward when they explode. And for this build, I almost have 1,000% life to minions, so you get a ton of ward. Moreover, as your wraiths are dying, you have a 30% chance to trigger a summons for a volatile zombie. So it just helps if you're not paying attention, you're only making wraiths, you will still be making zombies without even knowing it. Moving on to the passives. Now, my character is level 100 now. On Twitch, we hit level 100. So just know that I have 112 points total. I know not a lot of people will have that. Right off the bat, obviously, nothing into Warlock, nothing into Lich. This is just going to be base class and Necromancer. So for the base class, you want 8 into Forbidden Knowledge, 8 into Stolen Vitality, 5 into Dark Ritual, and 1 into Soul Aegis. Okay? That is it. 22 points into base Acolyte. Necromancer, 90 points. 8 into Risen Army, 5 into Grave Thorns, 1 into Blood Armor, 10 into Mortal Tether, 5 into Reclamation of Souls. And then we just go right around, ring around the rosy. 5 into Frantic Summons, 5 into River of Bones, 10 into Heresy, 10 into Blades of the Forlorn, 10 into Rite of the Undeath, 1 into Disciplines of the Necromancy, 3 into Empty the Graves, 3 into Cling to Life. Did I say Tyrant already? 1 into Tyrant, 3 into Moonlight Pyre, and 5 into Veins of Malice. Now, on here, if you want to get some cold, okay, you have 10 into Blades of the Forlorn, okay, which gives you increased minion cold damage and minion chill chance. So if you want to, you can run your skeleton mages as cold. You literally just don't take these two, and you put one into here and one into here. Okay? And then, you know, you'll get some chill chance. A lot of people like doing it that way because then you have fire and ice. I like going towards max damage because these do more damage. But it's an option. Wanted to throw out this option this time. Something new. I've tried it. It works pretty good. Those are the passives. Time to check out some gear, starting with idols. And my gear for this character are pretty good. Obviously, it can always be better, but it's pretty good. This has cleared every single thing in the game. 700 monoliths it's run. Right around there. Now, the idols that you need are right here. Chance to summon Flame Wraith and chance to apply Mark of Death on hit. You need one. One that has Mark of Death on it. In my opinion, it's one of the most rarer idols. Some people find them on their first day. Some people it takes months, okay? You need one of these. It will add a ton of damage. Lucky for me, I got another one for Flame Wraith, and I actually found one that does mark of damage, but I don't need it, so I took ward retention. But this makes it so every Wraith I make is a Flame Wraith. Okay? When you look at my other idols, it is minion, fire, damage. That's it. All I care about. Minion, fire, damage. Look at 71, 65, 70, 68. Huge boost. Okay? Moving over to gear. Now there is no uniques that are required for this build. I mean, they nerfed Death Rattle, so it's not as good as it used to be. I just happen to have one that's almost a perfect roll, so I continue using it, okay? The only item that I would say, I guess there's a couple. So your helmet, you need the adaptive spell damage for minions, so you do need this Acolyte helmet from an implicit perspective. And then as far as I can find, the best current weapon for this is this Skeleton Scepter. Cast speed, increased minion spell damage, and increased minion damage. Really good. Really good. Cast speed is very important for this build. Okay, let me go over each item, and you can take a look at what I've got. Helmet. Amulet. Catalyst. Armor. Scepter. Ring. Belt. Ring. Relic. Boots. And gloves. Time to check out the character breakdown sheet. So for intelligence, I have 73 points, vitality 12. Movement speed, again, is abysmal. I need better boots, but it's 18. Then you look at my resistances, 43, 75, 75, 67, 46, 40, and 75. Now, obviously, resistances are great. Everybody knows resistances are great, but what keeps you alive with this build is right here, ward retention 351%. Every time you rip blood, and every time that zombie explodes, you are going to get a big burst of ward. And it'll stay much longer because of your ward retention. Now, under damage, none of this stuff matters. Under defense, my endurance is at 57%, endurance threshold 384, and critical strike 105. So endurance is solid, critical strike is perfect, resistances are okay, and ward is huge. It's how I'm able to stay alive. No armor, no block, no dodge. Now here is what's impressive. Minion. Ready for this? Overall minion damage, 535. Increased minion spell damage, 715. Increased minion fire damage, 1,089. Now, you look at increased minion health, 968, almost 1,000. And then this is just base, right? Minion critical strike chance, 14%. And then minion critical strike multiplier, 400%. Now, this minion critical strike chance won't take into account individual skills. So for example, like Cellar Mortis on Skeletal Mage gives you a base crit chance of 15%, which means really the crit chance on this would be 29% if you are counting the 14. Now, just in case you didn't believe me, watch this. One Pyromancer. 7,000, 6,000, 6,000, 7,000, 6,000, 8,000, 9,000. Right? Nothing over 10,000 damage. Okay. Go away. Now, let's summon a Wraith. Attack. 11,000, 11,000, 10,000, 9,000. You can do better than that. Come on. 10,000, 9, 11, 16. 16 again. 15, 2. All right, you can die now. You got to be pretty close. There you go. Skeletal Mage. Couldn't break 10,000. Wraith. What was that? Hit 3 times for over 16,000. And you got to remember, yes, you have to resummon them, but you're going to have 3 more. And they shoot a little slower. And they only shoot 1 round. That is true. Most of the time, your skeleton mages are only going to be hitting with 1. Okay? So, when you have 5 Pyromancers, and you have 8 Wraith, that is the equivalent of, well, what? So you're talking about 13 total minions, but these are almost 30-40% as good as your Pyroman. So it's like having 15 skeletal mages, in my opinion. My math might be a little off. So your damage is still going to be insane. It's going to be insane. That doesn't even include your zombie. Fire Necro. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. I want to know your opinion. Is there something I missed? Is there something I can do to push this to the next level? Let me know in the comment section below. Again, I have officially started a Twitch, and I played this character for, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 hours, right around there. And I tested so much and all these different things right there on camera. First link in the description below if you want to go check it out and see how I created this build. If you haven't joined the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We're now over 1,100 members, great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is in the description. I hope you all enjoyed this Fire Necro build guide. Hopefully you're entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.